Hey guys, this is Joe Satino, and I'm coming to you today to talk to you about balanced news reporting and how you can take action to affect the way the media reports news in a positive way to actually have it be more balanced regardless of the network that you're talking about. One of the things that I've observed recently as I've been talking with family and friends is that there's a lot of people who wish that the news media was reporting a more balanced view of the world and events, and but don't have a real way to go about affecting that change. And there's good news. There are ways to affect that change, and I'm going to share a few of those with you, as well as some history. So the first piece of information I want to share with you is something that is called the Fairness Doctrine. Now, the Fairness Doctrine of the United States FCC Commission was introduced in 1949, and it required both holders of broadcasting licenses to both present controversial issues of public importance and to do it in a manner that was, in the FCC's view, honest, equitable, and balanced. Now, I'm sharing this to you from Wikipedia, so if you go into Wikipedia and type in the Fairness Doctrine, you'll get most of this stuff right here. The FCC eliminated the Fairness Doctrine policy in 1987 and removed the rule of implementing implemented that policy from the Federal Register in August of 2011. Interesting story on its own. The doctrine didn't require equal time for opposing views, but it required that contrasting views be presented. And the demise of the Fairness Doctrine, or the rule, has been considered by some to be a contributing factor in the rising level of what's called party polarization in the United States. Now, the main point of that doctrine was to ensure that viewers are exposed to a diversity of viewpoints. And in 1969, the U.S. Supreme Court, in a case, upheld the FCC's right to enforce the Fairness Doctrine where channels were limited. However, the court did not require the FCC to be obliged to do so. And the Fairness Doctrine isn't the same as an equal time rule. The Fairness Doctrine deals with the discussion of controversial issues, while the equal time rule deals with political candidates having equal time. So media reform, which is another topic, is about attempts to move the mass media toward a more agenda that is more in tune with the public needs and away from these kind of biases. And I would also point out that a 2017 study found that providing people with impartial, objective information has the potential to reduce political polarization, but the effect of that information on polarization is sensitive to the context. So there's a lot to read if you want to read it, but here are some things that you can do that are simple and proactive. First, you can write your representative, and I did that, your House representatives, and you can say something like this: I'm writing to request that you reintroduce legislation for balanced media reporting consistent with the previous FCC Fairness Doctrine. I believe that this will improve the unity of the American people. The Fairness Doctrine required that media report both sides of controversial issues in a balanced way, and I think we Americans would benefit from that being reinstated. The FCC has authority to do so, and I feel it would have bipartisan benefit. And you can also add, like I did, if you differ from that viewpoint, I would welcome the opportunity to hear about your viewpoint. So I think you can do it in a nice, balanced way and write your representative. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing you could do is I called my brokerage company, the company that holds my 401k, and asked them how do they invest in media companies to provide, and ask them to provide options to not invest in media companies that don't adhere, not invest in media companies that don't adhere to the FCC Fairness Doctrine by self-policing. So we could ask the media companies themselves to do that. Now, what'll happen is if a lot of people go and start calling Fidelity and Vanguard and saying, hey, I want my funds to not invest in media companies that don't self-police to the Fairness Doctrine, before you know it, that's going to come up as a topic at the stockholder meetings, and you can bet that there'll at least be a buzz and a discussion about it that can be driven from your wallet. So that's the second thing you can do. And then the third is you can go reach out to the CEOs in LinkedIn and ask them what are they doing to help our nation by enforcing and self-policing their own news media to the Fairness Doctrine. So some companies here, MSNBC is an American company. It's owned by NBC Universal. CNN is an American company owned by Warner Media News and Sports, which is a division of AT&T Warner Media. CBS is a division of American Television, and then you have also NBC News. I think I covered that, and of course Fox News. You can look that up as to the company, the parent company behind Fox News. I thought I had it here, but I don't. So, and then ABC is actually a subsidiary of Walt Disney. So that's another thing you can do. Fox Media is Fox Corporation. I'm sorry, I found that. So these are some 3 things that you can do. One, you write your representative, ask them to look at reintroducing legislation. Ask them if they have a differing opinion to talk to you about it. Second is you can try to get talk to your 401k company or the company that you invest with and ask them to find you a fund that doesn't invest in media companies that do not enforce some form of the Fairness Doctrine. And the third is you could go reach out to the CEOs on LinkedIn and just ask them. All of these things are fair and reasonable, and the point behind this is to let the American people actually speak about what's on their mind and put some action behind it. The reason why I started doing this is I was sitting with my nephew and my nephew-in-law, so my 2 nephews, and they were lamenting that what can we do? And I said, let me go investigate what we can do. And so I encourage you to be active politically in a kind way. I encourage you to ask these questions in the way you invest, and I encourage you to reach out to these media executives on LinkedIn and state your mind. And I think we can better our nation if we have more balanced news reporting. I think it was something that we were good at and we got away from. And I think it's an opportunity for us right now to be Americans who stand up and take action and do something positive to help our nation move closer together. So I hope that helps you, and talk to you soon. Hopefully I'll send out another one of these videos. If you like this one, please like it on Facebook, on YouTube, and subscribe. If you want to send me an email, you can send me an email at balancednewsreporting@gmail.com. So balancednewsreporting@gmail.com. Thanks. Bye-bye.